It's 12 o'clock this Monday, and right now at noon, Metro Police are investigating a deadly shooting at a Longhorn Steakhouse in the Castleton area. We have the very latest from officers as we learn more about the victim lost there. Lindsay?
Yeah, temperatures drastically colder than this time yesterday, down by 40 degrees, and that snow having an impact. We'll talk about how long this cold looks to stick around.
Also, a 19-year-old now under arrest after a deadly crash over the weekend. What officers discovered after viewing some traffic cam footage. Well, look at this. Winter is back. Yep. This after the taste of spring we got over the weekend. Snow today, flurries this morning, and still some this afternoon, depending where you are. Snow on the daffodils. That doesn't seem right. Unfortunately, it's not that uncommon. The good news is no major accumulation. I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan. Thanks for joining us here at noon. I'm here with meteorologist Lindsay Monroe today. We want to let you know this is a weather impact alert today. That's because of what's coming in. We see some high winds, some snow, and cold temperatures all across central Indiana. What the big drop we've had.
Really, and severe weather to snow in less than 24 hours, and it's been a drastic change. So that's why the alert, want everyone just to be prepared. It's not 74 anymore.
No.
We're going to stay in the 20s for the rest of the day, and even more brutal wind chill values only in the teens. So this is a look at that bigger picture. You got this low pressure zone just to our north, and we've got that tightening pressure gradient around that low pressure zone, which is why our winds have been so strong and so gusty. High wind warning expiring, so that is some good news, but we still have some leftover snow and moisture that's wrapping around the backside of this system, and that is why we are keeping some scattered snow showers in the forecast for the rest of this afternoon. They'll start to taper off this evening as that low pressure zone continues to pull off to the northeast. These numbers are just so impressive. We are 40 degrees colder than what we were this time yesterday here in Indy. St. Louis is down by 46. And as we take this a step closer into the Indy metro, Muncie is down by 34 degrees, 40 over in Greencastle. And that puts our temperature right now dropping back below freezing, and for most spots falling into the upper 20s at this point. And really not expecting much of a warming trend. In fact, we are expecting our temperature to continue to trend down for the rest of the day. Current wind chill values now falling into the teens. Here's your forecast for the rest of this Monday. Again, temperatures likely to stay in the 20s. And as far as our snow chances go for the rest of the afternoon, between now and that evening commute, still expecting these occasional snow bursts. That will continue into the evening before snow tapers off. Not major accumulations, but we've already seen this stick to some elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses, things like that. So just a good idea to allow some extra travel time for the rest of your day. Coming up, we'll talk more about some warmer temperatures headed our way for later this week.
All right, Lindsay, we'll check back. In the meantime, these weather conditions follow some damage across central Indiana from some of the thunderstorms that blew through last night. Strong winds blew down a tree in this north side neighborhood. It took out some power lines and left a whole area without power. Crews out to restore them rather quickly. It did spark a bit of an issue at 75th and Spring Mill. We also have reports of trees down out in Terre Haute and also in Whiteland. Emergency crews caution there could be lines down because of the storm, so please be careful. Keep your wits about you and stay clear for sure. We do have an update for you this afternoon. We're now learning the name of a 24-year-old man who was killed in a shooting at the Longhorn Steakhouse near Castleton Square Mall. It happened just before 9 o'clock last night at the restaurant located along 82nd Street. Police say that's where they found Justin Highnight. He went to the hospital in critical condition and later died. Police say it all started as a disturbance between Highnight and several people in the restaurant's lobby. Police say the suspect shot Highnight and then ran away.
It's really sad and unfortunate that there's just a small part of our society that have no regard for human life and will easily pull out a weapon and kill someone over very little. It's also not only for the victim is it's just terrible and tragic, but think about the community members here that came out for a nice dinner at a restaurant, and then violence erupts in front of them. So that's scary.
And not too long after the shooting, officers say they found and detained 3 people at a nearby Jimmy John's restaurant. IMPD says they since have released those 3 people. Today, also, we are learning from the Marion County coroner. They are identifying the 37-year-old man who was killed in a deadly crash on the east side. This happened at the intersection of North Sherman and East Washington Street. That happened around 2 o'clock on Sunday morning. IMPD telling us that they found Iskandar Mohammed al-Handarish dead in his car. Investigators say that a Chevy Camaro was driving east, heading north on Sherman. Police say they viewed traffic camera footage and noticed that the car went airborne before hitting the victim going the opposite direction. The Camaro's driver, a 19-year-old woman, is now facing preliminary charges for driving while intoxicated, resulting in death. The woman has critical but non-life-threatening injuries. Well, new today, just as the NCAA tournament is set to tip off later this week, and you're busy filling out your brackets, figuring out who you're going to pick for the big dance, Butler now has got a big job. They're looking to fill a vacancy for the head coach of the men's basketball team. Rich Nye is here with the news live in studio that Thad Matta says, you know what, I'm going to retire from coaching for now. Rich?
Yeah, this is a bit of a surprise after the athletic director said last week that Matta would return next season. But the athletic department sent out a news release about an hour ago announcing that Thad Matta is retiring from coaching. He will remain with the university as a special assistant to the president and the athletic director. Butler just finished the season 16-16. Matta got his 500th win as coach this season, but since he returned for his second stint as coach of the Bulldogs back in 2022, Butler never finished with a winning record in the Big East and never made the NCAA tournament. Matta is a former Butler player. He coached the Bulldogs the first time and led them to a school record 24 wins back in 2001. Then he went on to coach at Xavier and Ohio State. He advanced to the NCAA tournament 13 times, earned 2 trips to the Final Four and 1 appearance in the national championship game. Matta said that he took some time to reflect after the season and decided it was time to retire. In a statement, he also said, "The love my wife, my daughters, and I have for Butler is what brought us back 4 years ago, and it feels especially meaningful that I conclude my coaching career here. Butler has always meant more to us than just basketball, and that connection is why I'm grateful to continue working with the university and offering my help in any way I can." And Butler says that a national search is underway to find Matta's replacement. In the past, Butler has always tried to stay within the Butler basketball family when they find a replacement. Yeah.
That certainly has been their history. So just off the top of your head, because I know you know this area well, when you think of people that would fit that criteria that has been their history in the past, what might be a name or two that you would float out there?
Well, I think the top of the list has to be John Gross. John is the coach of Miami, the team that went undefeated in the regular season. Yeah. They'll play in the NCAA tournament in Dayton in the first 4 on Wednesday. He was an assistant under Thad back in 2001. And John also has big-time coaching experience. He was a coach in the Big Ten at Illinois.
Yeah, and this would be a big step up for him, too, from that league.
Right, it would be, he's going to be the hot commodity in coaching to move up from a mid-major to a major program.
Right.
And here's a guy who knows Butler well.
Yeah, it'll be hard for Miami to keep him. Right. All right, Rich, thanks so much. Keep us updated as new news comes in about this. Sure. And certainly we wish Thad Matta and his family well. Well, today the community of Notre Dame is remembering Lou Holtz. The Basilica of the Sacred Heart holding a funeral mass for Holtz starting at 1 this afternoon. If you're interested, the ceremony will be live streamed through Notre Dame's website. Public visitation was held over the weekend at the Basilica. The legendary football coach passed away March 4th at the age of 89.